Folks, nearly 4 years ago, Congress and the American people gave President Bush the authority to destroy Iraq's weapons of mass destruction and, if necessary, to depose its dictator. We now know that weapons of mass destruction were never there and the dictator is no longer there. Now the country and our troops are embroiled in a vicious civil war. As of last night, according to the Pentagon, 3,009 Americans have lost their lives in Iraq, and more than 22,000 have been wounded. And we've spent hundreds of billions of dollars, and there's no end in sight. For many months now, the American people have understood that our present policy is a failure. And they want to know where we go from here. So like millions of Americans, I listened to President Bush last night. We all hoped and prayed that the president would present us with a plan to make things better in Iraq. Instead, I fear that what he said and what he proposes will make things much worse. We all hoped and prayed that we would hear a plan that would start to bring our troops home while leaving behind a stable Iraq. And instead, we heard of a plan that actually escalates the war, not only in Iraq, but possibly into Iran and Syria as well. The president's strategy, ladies and gentlemen, is not a solution. It's a tragic mistake. In Iraq, the core of the president's plan is to send another 20,000 Americans to Baghdad, a city with more than 6 million people, where our boys and girls are going to go door to door in the middle of a civil war. Folks, we've tried that escalation twice before in Baghdad. Twice it's failed, and if we try it again, it'll fail for the third time. And the result will be the loss of more American lives and our military stretched to the point that it's breaking, with very little prospect of success. This November, the American people voted for a dramatic change in course in Iraq. And the president said that he heard them. But it's now absolutely clear he didn't listen. And for the life of me, I don't understand how he could reject the overwhelming opposition to his plan from a broad, bipartisan cross-section of the country's leaders, military, as well as civilian. The Joint Chiefs of Staff opposed the plan. Our commander in the region, General Abizaid, opposed the plan. Our commanders in Iraq, starting with General Casey, opposed the plan. The Baker-Hamilton Commission opposed the plan. And so did one of our greatest soldier statesmen, Colin Powell. The advice they gave the president can be boiled down to two things. First, our military cannot stop the Shia, Sunni, and Kurds from killing one another. The Iraqis have to make a political accommodation. And the best way to concentrate their minds, the minds of the Iraqi leaders and the Iraqi people, on the hard compromises they're going to have to make to end this civil war is to begin to draw down American forces, not escalate American forces. The second bit of consensus is the way to secure the political solution is to secure the support of Iraq's neighbors, including Iran and Syria, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, all of them. For if a settlement is going to hold, it's going to require their involvement. And if in fact a settlement fails to take hold, we're going to need help to contain this civil war within Iraq. To be very blunt, I cannot in good conscience support the president's approach. But because so much is at stake, I'm also not prepared to give up on finding a bipartisan way forward that meets the twin goals most Americans share. First, to bring home American troops, and second, to leave behind a stable Iraq. In all my years in the Senate, I don't think we've faced a more pivotal moment than what we face at this moment. Failure in Iraq will not be confined to Iraq. It will do terrible damage to our ability to protect American interests all over the world and for a long time to come. We have to continue to work together to find a solution that will gain the support of our citizens. For I learned a long time ago that no foreign policy can be sustained without the informed consent of the American people, which is why I'm talking to you today. Soon I'm going to introduce a resolution, hopefully with bipartisan support in the United States Senate, to put senators on record telling the president they do not support his escalation. We've launched a new website for you to be able to voice your support for this resolution. So please visit www.NoMoreTroops.com. NoMoreTroops.com and send the President a message that you're against this troop escalation. And then, please, tell your family, your friends, everyone you know to do the same thing. For only by showing the President he's alone on this approach, by really making it clear we don't support his position, can we change what's going on in Iraq. Again, please visit www.nomoretroops.com today and send the message you do not agree with the President's escalation policy. Thank you very much.